agent detected. Hostile stinger hive detected.
You still alive?
Hostile explosive trap detected.
Damn it! That's perfect! Setting chem launcher!
What's up, agents? Today we're diving into a weapon that doesn't always steal the spotlight, but absolutely deserves more love. The gun we're referring to is the Diamondback rifle. This exotic rifle is a variant of the 1886, and it might not top the meta or hit one-shot builds like some other weapons, but it's still a blast to use. And while it may not reach the raw power of certain rifles, it adds variety to your gameplay, and also it still packs a punch. So sit back, enjoy those guaranteed crits, and let's see why this rifle deserves a spotlight in your loadout. This is D Werewolf Gaming, and let's get into it.
Strategy.
First, here's a little demonstration at the range just to show you how powerful this rifle can be. With headshots, we can get over 8.1 million in damage. That is with all our full stacks with the ability rate talent. And also we are using the vigilance talent, which when you take damage, you do lose that buff. But as you can see, agents, this is a very powerful weapon and a great alternative for those who don't like running those one-shot headshot builds such as the 1886 rifle, a regular variant of this gun. Now, the star of the show will be the Diamondback rifle, and overall, as you can see, this gun is fully maxed out with a weapon expertise to 30%. As far as the weapon handling in this gun, and that consists of accuracy, stability, and reload time, and also SWAT speed. The only thing that stands out is stability is really good, but everything else does need a lot of improvement. The talent on this gun is what really shines, though. It's called Agonizing Bite, and then Diamondback will randomly mark an enemy within 20 meters of you. If no enemies are within 20 meters, it basically marks the closest enemy to you, and hitting that enemy consumes the mark, guaranteed that you will get amplified critical hit damage of 20%. So keep in mind that is amplified critical hit damage. After hitting the mark, all shots fired are guaranteed critical hits for 5 seconds, and a new random mark will be marked. And keep in mind, you can change those marked enemies by just reloading the weapon, and it will switch to a different marked target. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you don't want to hit the enemy that it is currently marked on. The mods that come in this weapon you cannot change, and that is 10% accuracy, 10% reload speed, stability, and 15% critical hit damage. For our secondary, we are using a Thorn shotgun. I enjoy having a shotgun, so when enemies get up close, you can take them out pretty quick. This build, we are focused heavily on amplified damage, so this gun is perfect for that. The talent is amazing. As you can see, the weapon handling on this gun is horrible, but the stability is pretty good. And the talent is what truly shines, though. It's called Perfect Brazen. You will receive 3.5% amplified damage on the next shot with the weapon for each pellet that hits the target. If at least 4 pellets hit, killing an enemy will provide an additional plus 8% amplified damage on the next shot. And the mod we do have is a 20% increased reload speed mod. For our sidearm agents, we have been using the quick step pistol for the longest now, because you will get that 20% increase in movement speed, but it does not stack with any other movement speed bonuses. For this build, agents, we are utilizing 2 pieces of breaking point gear set, and we're primarily using it for that 25% increase in rifle damage that it is giving you. So this gear set works great for rifles and marksman rifles, but for the core attribute, we do have weapon damage core, and the two attributes we do have is 6% critical hit chance mods or attributes. For the chest, we do have two pieces of the Zaiwa Doka Azu set on, which is giving us 15%, well, brand set, which is giving us 15% increase in magazine size, 20% increase in rifle damage. And for the core attribute, we do have a weapon damage core, and the attributes, we do have 6% critical hit chance and a 12% critical hit damage attribute. For the talent, we are utilizing the Obliterate talent, which critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. This stacks up to 20 times, so at full stacks, that is 20% increase in weapon damage. For the holster, it's the second piece of the breaking point set, and for the core attribute, we do have an armor core and a 12% critical hit damage attribute. For the knee pads agents, we are using Fox's Prayer, which is a part of the Overlord brand set. It is the name knee pads. It comes automatically with a rifle damage, with 10% rifle damage when you have one piece on. For the core attribute, it is weapon. It automatically comes with an 8% damage to target out of cover, which is multiplicative damage, and we do have a 6% critical hit chance attribute as well. For the gloves, we are utilizing the Overdog exotic gloves. It automatically comes with for the core attribute being a weapon damage core, and the other attributes that come in this automatically is that 6% critical hit chance and a 12% critical hit damage attribute. What truly shines on this glove is the talent, though. The talent is called Weakest Link. It amplifies weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemies while you're in combat as per tier hierarchy. So basically, if you want to utilize and take full advantage, you want to start at tier 3, kill those enemies and keep working your way up to the top, and basically you'll be getting 30% increase in amplified damage. But agents, there's usually a lot going on. I don't really pay attention to that, and at some point you will be getting that 30% increase in amplified damage. And again, we are on the Diamondback as well. Keep in mind the talent, you will also be getting amplified damage on that. Is for the backpack, it is the second piece of the Zeus set. For the core attribute, we do have weapon damage core. We do have 12% critical hit damage attributes and a 6% critical hit chance attribute. For the talent, we are utilizing the Vigilance talent, which basically increases total weapon damage by 25%, but taking damage disables this buff for 4 seconds. So keep that in mind. If you take damage, you will lose that 25% increase in dead weapon damage. But there are many other options if you don't want to use the Vigilance talent. For example, if you need a little bit more survivability on this build, the Bloodsucker talent is great because killing an enemy adds a stack of 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds. So at max stack, you basically be at 100% bonus armor. This gives you a little bit more survivability on the build if you feel like this build is struggling for you on heroic content. Also, if you don't want to use the Vigilance talent, the Unstoppable Force is great because killing an enemy increases total weapon damage by 5% for 15 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. So you can get up to 25% increase in weapon damage as well, and you don't lose the buff when you take damage, and each kill does refresh this talent. So this is great if you don't want to lose the damage when using the Vigilance talent. Another talent that will give you a little bit more survivability is the Adrenaline Rush. Basically, whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, you gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times, so that's 60% bonus armor. Keep in mind, it does have a cooldown of 5 seconds. So these are other great options. If you don't want to use the exotic gloves, the Overdogs, you can easily just use the Memento exotic backpack, and you know, it has a lot of bonuses for solo gameplay as well, such as more survivability, more utility, and bonus armor as well. Now, as far as the chest piece, I would recommend, if you don't want to use the Obliterate talent, like I said, this build will work great as well. Without that talent too, you can use the Unbreakable talent to give you a little bit more survivability. Basically, whenever your armor is depleted, it will repair 90% of your armor, but it does have a cooldown of 60 seconds. So these are other great options if you don't want to use the Obliterate talent, because like a lot of times in the gameplay, you will be one-shotting a lot of these enemies, so you won't really be taking full advantage of that. Now, as far as our skills, we are using the Reviver Hive, and we are using the drone a good bit for a little bit. The drone is great for adding distraction and also doing decent damage, and we will use the Banshee Pulse some in the gameplay as well. If you take a look at our weapon stats, we do have 1,160,966 weapon damage with the Diamondback rifle. Critical hit chance is 52% with 137% critical hit damage, and a headshot damage of 80%. Keep in mind the Diamondback does give you critical hits, but I like to have it to where I am getting critical hits without that being active. So for example, the Diamondback perk isn't active, you're still hitting pretty hard, you're getting those critical hits, and you're getting that critical hit damage at all times. And keep in mind the max stat cap for the critical hit chance is 60%, so we're right there at 52%. far as the armor in this build, agents, this build is pretty squishy. This build is designed for you to stay in cover. That's why you in the gameplay you will see I will be in cover a good bit. But we are sitting right there, 913,016 armor. We do have 91,302 armor on a kill. This build has 0 armor regeneration, so keep that in mind when playing with this type build. One thing I do want to point out, that if you are having trouble surviving with a build like this, as you can see on my core attributes, I can easily change those to armor core to give us a little bit more survivability. So these builds are always just templates. Change up whatever you need to make it work for you. This amount of armor I have is working great for me, but like I said, agents, not everyone will have maxed out gear or weapons like I have, so I always change these builds to work for your gameplay. The class specialization, we are utilizing the gunner class specialization because every third reload is 50% faster, which is great because this rifle does reload pretty slow. Also, your armor kits basically repair 100% of your armor, and it also grants 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. That's great for helping you survive, and also killing enemies give you 10% armor back on the kill. This is the only class specialization where you will have access to the Banshee Pulse, which I do enjoy using, especially when attacking those hunters. But it launches a fork or a pulse energy that disorients enemies caught in the wave, and it also penetrates through cover as well. Do generate 10% of your total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Party members will receive 5% of that, and also your rate of fire is increased by 5% for 5 seconds after kill. Another thing that is amazing is that talent is another passive call in placement. Basically, you have 10% increase in weapon handling when you're not moving for at least 1 second, so that is great. Just don't forget to equip the correct weapon element. That 15% increase in weapon damage that you will get can make a difference in the amount of damage you're doing, so keep that in mind. I do have the rifle equipped. As you see, I was using the shotgun, but the shotgun does so much damage, didn't even need it. All right, agents, as always, like I stated earlier, these builds are just templates, just things I enjoy using. I know there are other meta builds that you can use, but sometimes using the same old stuff over and over can be stale very quickly, especially for someone who's been playing this game as long as I have. So I do like variety in my gameplay. I do appreciate each and every one of you for your valued time and continued support. And 2 things I do want to point out that will play a factor in this build today. One is that your SHD watch level needs to be at least 1,000 to have all the passes unlocked on your watch, and some of those passes gives you bonus increase in weapon damage, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, recoil, stability. All those things are found within the passives on your watch, so it needs to be at least level 1000. Current the max weapon expertise in the game is 30%, so if you do have your weapon expertise maxed out, you can get an additional 30% increase in weapon damage with that. I also want to mention that in the gameplay today, agents, there is no global or seasonal event active, just to show you that this build works. Keep in mind though, if you was to have the assault event active like it is currently active right now in the game, you'll be hitting over 12 million on headshots with this build. With that being said, agents, if you enjoy the gameplay, here's my full run of this mission where I did encounter those rogue agents that I showed you in the beginning of the video. Do take out sections where I'm just traveling from one location to the next to keep these videos from being so long. But overall, agents, this is the full gameplay. As always, agents, stay strong, stay sharp, the werewolf out.
That should do it. Mess.
radio intercepted.
Hello? Is this the division? Looking for someone?
Who is this? How are you on this channel?
A friend of yours gave me a real nice wristwatch. He's right here. Want to talk to him? If you want him back, you can make a deal. You back off, we'll deliver him unharmed. Mostly.
They'll keep him alive. They aren't stupid. Just find that hyena piece of shit and waste her.
Rogue agent detected. Hostile Stinger Hive detected.
You still alive?
Hostile explosive trap detected.
Damn it! That's perfect! Setting chem launcher!
Rogue agent eliminated. Agent vital signs 0.
He didn't have to die here.
Vital signs critical. Immediate medical assistance needed.